Sorry, just adjusting my hat. Have you ever tried to build a snowman out of sand? That shit never works. Moriore te whānau, no mai hoki mai. Welcome back to the practice run, your frontline pass of the hardest sports action, brought to you by 99 Dreams, inspiring others to chase their dreams. With your hosts, Tukohirangi, Sam Tarangi, and me, Rawiri. We're diving deep into the thrilling world of the NRL rugby league today, and who knows where the game will take us tomorrow. From the try line to the sideline, we've got you covered.
Strap in as we tackle the big plays, the game-changing moments, and the stories that define legends. Whether you're a seasoned vet or this is your first hit-up, the practice run is for everyone. Every run, every tackle, every win, experience the rush with us.
With exclusive insights, couch analysis, and a touch of humour, the practice run is here to keep you entertained, informed, and part of our practice squad. Because here, every practice run takes us one step closer to glory. The practice squad, where every listener is MVP, powering our play, every episode, every day.
We'd also like to give thanks to 99 Dreams for powering our passion. Now let's kick things off with today's lineup.
Yes, whānau, and a big lineup we have for you guys today. It is international season. We missed you guys on Tuesday. Everyone was just busy, sick. It's just life, man. Comes at you fast. So today we are kind of recapping as we preview the Kiwis versus Kangaroos, the heavyweight fight. We'll also take a quick look at the women. Are the women playing this week? I swear they are.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, we'll give a dive into that one as well. I don't know what their cup is called. Oh, it's just the women's one. I'll dive into their team list as well because I'm pretty sure there's a couple from Taranaki in there somewhere, and there is. So we'll dive into the women's game as well. What time does that kick off? 3:35 p.m. We're also starting our NRL season review, brought to you by Uber. Shout out Ezra Mann for today's sponsor. They will be sponsoring the season review for the next couple of weeks. You know, they're not sponsoring us at all. Like we receive no financial gain, no nothing. It's topical, considering what Ezra Mann did to them. So we'll give them some free press. Shout out to Uber. This is Uber, brought to you by Ezra Mann. They will be sponsoring our season review. We'll check out some of the surprises, letdowns, needs, and highlights of each of your guys' favourite teams. But before we do any of that, ladies and gentlemen, we've missed Paper, Scissors, Rock for a couple of weeks now. It's hard when you're out of the rhythm. You're not in that same flow all the time. So today it's going to be Tukohirangi versus Sam, because we forgot who was the previous winner. So I'm just going to start fresh-ish. It's going to be 2 versus Sam, and then I'll play the winner next week. But you know how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Winners win, losers lose. It's paper, scissors, rock. Paper beats a rock beats a scissor, and a scissor beats a paper. Let's go.
You got us.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and yeah.
Ooh. Double scissors. Lesbian's favourite.
All right, here we go. Ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, shoot. Oh, I don't like that one at all. Up.
Why don't you?
I just about changed it.
Always change.
Well, I kid you not. I went down scissors and I was like, "Oh, do I go pay for?" Nah, we stick with scissors.
Yeah. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, shoot. Yeah.
Sam died on the hill.
I did die on the hill. I was like, nothing will be funnier than us going scissors 3 times.
We did that one time. We went for ages, and then it was just to whoever gave up the scissor first.
Yeah, it was literally who changed first.
Yeah. Hey, man, shit. Well, there we go. Paper, Scissors, Rock, brought to you by Harvey Norman. Shout out Harvey Norman. Imagine if we could get everything sponsoring. The only reason I stole Harvey Norman, I see it on the Jillaroos logo there. But imagine if we could, have Paper, Scissors, Rock sponsored, freaking each of the previews sponsored, and the reviews sponsored, and all of that. But anyway, let's get into the Kiwi Ferns and the Jillaroos playing at 3:35 p.m. on this Sunday evening, 27th of October at Apollo Project Stadium in Christchurch. I'll do the Kiwi Ferns, you do the Jillaroos, and then all three of us will just have a bit of a yarn. This game is going to be a bit of an uphill battle for the Kiwis. The Jillaroos will be coming into this game with hella confidence after their last victory against PNG. They had 84, 82 points? They had more points than minutes in that game. That's all that I know. But let me get into your Kiwi side. Ladies and gentlemen, that fullback is Api Nichols. On the wings, we've got Leanne Tufunga and Shanice Parker. In our centres, we've got Mele Hufanga and Abigail Roach. Our halves are Gail Broughton and Tyler King. Oh, Tyler's playing. Oh, let's go. That Sevens connection coming back. Our props look like this. They are Brianna Clark and Angelina Tiakaranga Katoa. And then we've got Ahoka Brooke Anderson. Our second row is Anessa Biddle and Amber Hall. And our lock is Georgia Hale. Our interchange is Ashley Quinlan. Holy shit. Najvara. Or was it Najvara? I don't know. Anyway, Najvara George. Alexis Toa Niai. And from Taranaki, from Clifton Rugby Club, Tiana Davison. Shout out Tiana Davison.
And this is who they will be going up against your Jillaroos. At fullback, you have Tamika Upton. The wingers are Julia Robertson and Jakia Whitfield. Centre combos of Isabel Kelly and Tiana Penitani. Your halves for this one is Ali Brigginshaw and Taryn Aitken. Thought Ali was injured. Oh well. In the forward pack, you have Melly Elliott. She's partnered with Shannon Mato at the props. Olivia Higgins is the hooker. Second rows, you have Kizzy Epps and Yasmin Clydesdale. And at 13, you have Simaima Tofa. On the bench, at 14, Jessica Alliston. 15, Sarah Tongatuki. Kaylee Joseph at 16. And then rounding out the 17 is that Mahalia Murphy.
True. And like you said, I do think, what's her name? Ellie is injured, and Jessica Surgis will come into the centre spot, moving Penitani back into the halves like she did last week. I think it might just be a mana pick. Just I don't actually know what the process is. Maybe she is playing, maybe she isn't. But last week she didn't, and they carved up. So who knows? Maybe we'll see her. Maybe we won't. Huge shout out to Tiana Davison. Her brother is also an athlete. He plays in the Breakers occasionally. He didn't make it in the NBA draft. I remember one year he left New Zealand, went to go try cricket in the NBA. He didn't even get a look in at the draft. But Carlin Davison, you know Carlin? Yeah. So that's his sister. Both from Tukohirangi, which is about 4 minutes outside of Waitara here. So good sporting whānau. Look, last week I think was just a big confidence game for the Jillaroos. They went out there and they dominated Papua New Guinea. I thought the days of colonization were over. It just looked exactly like that, man. If we could go back to 1840 pre-treaty, that's what the battles would look like, man. It was just a straight, no Vaseline. That was straight Ice Cube out there. This week, I do think the Jillaroos have a little bit of a challenge. I don't think the Kiwi Ferns are as, what's the word I'm looking for here? Susceptible to an output of that caliber. However, this Jillaroos team is stacked. You see Roosters, who won the grand final this year, left, right, and centre in this Jillaroos team. This is the cream of the crop when it comes to the female game. However, we've got some sevens superstars. We've got some big, powerful forwards ready to get that ball moving. Mele Hufanga, man, just get her the ball and watch out. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. I am disappointed that Stace is injured. If she was healthy, man, I guarantee we'd win. She's got a 100% win record in the NRLW at the moment. She ain't never lost. She's got a gold medal and ain't never lost. 2024 was her year, man. But I'm looking forward to this. I think our strengths would come from our spine. I think we've got a decent spine there and some strong forwards. Who is on the bench? She's way deep in the squad. Never mind. Even Mackenzie Wiki could have been brought up. Yeah, I think our spine, their fitness, the combination of Gale and Tyler will work effortlessly because of their sevens days. They'll have some combos up their sleeve that they'll probably run a couple OG sevens plays together. I'm looking forward to that. The Jillaroos, yeah, man, their back five, especially with Surgis on the squad, impeccable. How many tries did their wingers score last week?
11.
Damn.
They combined for 11.
In one game, Fano.
Yeah.
In one game. And they didn't even score all the tries in that game. 11 is enough for one game. They scored too many damn points. So our Kiwi girls need to find a way to limit that scoring. What are you guys' thoughts and opinions on these two teams before we get a little bit of a prediction for the upcoming game?
I know. Be good to finally see our girls get out there, give it a crack. Jillaroos, I think I turned that game off after the first set, just how dominant they were. The writing was kind of on the wall for that one. But that'll be fun. I can't remember the last time our girls played, so I think it's been a while. Hopefully they'll be birding well in camp. I think our strengths will be similar to what you said. I like that the centre, Mele Hufanga, she's kind of like a wrecking ball and had to have Uppy Nichols there at fullback. I swear every time I see her play, she seems to stand out. She's so good. Yeah, I think the battle for us could be won or lost in the house with Gail and Tyler. I think this is Gail's debut. Tyler already beat her to it. I think she might have had a test already, which is crazy.
Let's have a look.
I could be wrong with that one, but yeah, look, I just hope the girls come out firing. I think Aussie might be a little bit too strong on the back end, but I think we'll be with them for the first little part. It'll be, my prediction is whoever's the fitter of the two teams will probably come out the other side. That last 20, I think, is kind of where the game will be won and lost. Or where if it's a close game, it might not be a close game anymore. But, man, just happy to see them get out there, have a good game, and hopefully they can give the Jillaroos a good shot. Because I think the girls play Papua New Guinea next week, right? And then it's the finals, is it?
I'd imagine so.
Yeah, so you'd think that this is a dress rehearsal for the finals.
84 points says it is.
Hopefully they can learn some things from it and then make the adjustments on if they play them again, if they get to play them again. So that's all I got.
Yeah, to be honest, I've watched no NRLW this week. This year. I put their game on for about 2 minutes last weekend and turned it right back off. It was, I saw, I think it was Jakaya, is it her name?
Yep.
Yeah, I saw her score the easiest try I've ever seen. It was I don't need to see this. I didn't even look at the score because I just assumed Aussie was winning. But yeah, after I saw that try go, and I was like, oh, okay. Okay, we don't really need to watch this. But yeah, I genuinely do not remember the last time I saw the Kiwi Ferns play a game.
So they played last year. They had a series last year. That's where Taylor had her 3 games.
I promise you I didn't watch.
So she has played.
I promise you I didn't watch, so.
1-2, lost 1.
Ooh.
Tyler.
Damn.
Hey, if they had Stace, I reckon we'd be getting that gold. Getting that
Bro,
gold, ladies.
I swear I seen her in town.
Stace.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure she lives in the Mount. I know, I was at Bayfair and I swear it was her that I saw.
I mean,
I could be wrong. But because isn't the Sevens team still based here in the Bay? I think.
I don't know much about Sevens, man.
I think that's
I'd
where they
imagine
do
so.
most of their trainings.
Yeah, I feel like it's always been there.
Cause
Unless they've moved to Wellington now with that like sports campuses there, but I don't know. I feel like as long as we've known the Sevens, it's always been around there.
Yeah,
So
always been,
Also, quickly shout out
should hit
to
her up.
what is it? Shout out to Liam Lawson for his debut full-time drive in Formula One. He scored 2 points, getting into 9th position, which is pretty hard to do considering the person he replaced, I don't think, scored a point all season. So to beat his teammate and then score 2 points in his debut drive for the team, well done. Then we've also got, who else did well in the weekend? I think the Kiwi Ferns, they got up in the weekend just gone over Australia.
yep.
New Zealand beat India for the first time in India in cricket.
It was a hiding.
And India have only lost, I think, 7 games in India in their entire existence.
Jesus.
Something like that anyway. The women won the World Cup, the T20 World Cup. And then I think something about a boat, Steinlager boat. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
America's
know boat
Cup.
sports. That's the one. Boat sport. It's a palangi game, man. It's a palangi game. How many Māoris you see on those waka? Fucking none. They should put us on there. Some hearty cuzzies. So yeah, shout out to all those athletes who are doing amazing things out there for Aotearoa, putting us on the map. And now it's the Kiwis' turn to put Aotearoa out there on the map. What is our prediction for this game, brothers? I'm going Jillaroos, unfortunately. 38-12. Sorry, girls. I just think they're too good, man, after last week. Shit.
What do I got? I think I'm hoping to be a little bit closer, a little bit more tougher. So I'm going to go with final score. I'm also going with Jillaroos 24-16.
Oh, nice.
184-0 last week.
That's why I was going to put it in the 40s, but I was like, nah, let's bring it to the 30.
Nah, I don't think I can quite get there on our girls winning.
Nah.
I'd
love to,
I'll go.
though.
Yeah. I would love to, but I can't see it. I'll go 32-6.
Oof. Nice. Look, hey, Kiwi friends, prove us wrong, please. We are still backing you guys. Just logically, we're picking Australia to win. But please, wahine ma, do us proud. Heading over now to the main event on Sunday. The Kiwis versus the Kangaroos at Apollo Projects Stadium in Christchurch at 6:05 p.m. New Zealand time. To do the Kiwis, Sam, you got the Kangaroos, brother.
Alrighty, well, I don't think I'd get that on, But this is your Kiwis team to take on the Kangaroos. At fullback, we have making his debut Keanu Kinney from your Gold Coast Titans. Our wingers are Jermaine Asako and Will Warbrick, who's also making his debut. In the centres, we have Matt Timoko and Peter Hiku is making his return via the Super League to the Kiwi squad. And in the halves, we have a surprise combo of Sean Johnson, who's just come out of retirement, and Chance Nuku. I don't know, he played in the halves Cookstead. See how that
I also
goes.
got a bone to pick with that Sean Johnson. We'll get there eventually, but I got a bone to pick.
So the fact he doesn't have a picture.
There's a few of them who don't have a picture on this one, which is
Oh.
rude, by the way, NRL.
How do you not have a picture?
Wait, do you got a picture? I don't got a picture.
Nah. But
No,
I haven't
but
got.
like-
I haven't got a picture for Hiku, for Warbrick, for Johnson.
Yeah.
No. But that's what I mean. Like, how do these fellas not got a picture?
I don't know.
They've previously
Questions.
played for this team.
Sean Johnson,
Anyway,
I
to
can
the-
somewhat understand, but yeah.
To
Hey,
the
you got the
forwards we
debutante.
go. And we have at prop number 8, it is your captain, James Fisher Harris. And he is paired up with Griffin Naume, the cousin from the South Island. My God. Getting the start. Winning. Phoenix Crossland, he didn't make his... Did he make his debut last year? Nah, he was like
No.
18th man, wasn't he?
No,
He was
injured, I think.
close. Oh, he was injured. Well, he also makes his debut. He is our 9. Isaiah Papali'i and Scott Sorensen are your second rowers. Joey Tarpany locking it down at number 13 at your lock position. To the bench, we have Cody Nikorima at 14. We got Nohafu White from your Sydney Roosters. Maratani Okore is number 16, and Jordan Ricky is your 17.
How does
which looks-
Jordan Ricky get a photo in his Bronco uniform, but all these other cousins are pictureless? Where did this come from? Who is the NRL social media guy running this
I'll
website?
be honest. Stacey shocked the world by picking Jordan. That's
Nah,
why
that's
he
not-
hasn't got a picture.
No, Jordan's got a picture. He's in his Broncos jersey.
Yeah, he's got
Oh no,
his-
yeah, I mean like the Kiwis one.
But how did they get a Bronco picture for him? And Marata gets nothing, Cody gets nothing, Scott nothing, Johnson.
the whole
nothing.
reserve's got nothing. Aaron
Bro, they
Clark,
put no
Trent
effort into
Toilo,
those reserves.
Casey
Too.
McLean.
What
and
have we
of
got
course-
a 21?
I don't even think we got a 21.
We don't got a 21th?
I don't know. Doesn't look like it.
Who's missing?
Someone. Oh, what is his name? That other Panther that's never played.
No,
Was
he's
he in
there.
there?
Trent.
He's
Bro, must be, what's his name? Got injured. Oh, no, because they brought in Sean. Anyway, over to you for Australia, man. Sick of this.
Aussie, I believe, remains unchanged from the team that won last week against Tonga. We've got Dylan Edwards at the fullback. We've got Xavier Coates and Zach Lomax on the wings. Hemiso and Turbo in the centres. Your halves are Tom Dearden and Mitchell Moses. Paddy Carrigan and Lindsay Collins are up front with Harry Grant at 9. Your edges are Angus Crichton and Cam Murray with Isaiah Yeo, the captain, at lock. Off the bench, you have Matt Burden, Mitch Barnett, Ruben Cotter, and Hudson Young with Ben Hunt named at 18th man.
Not bad, not bad.
You know what I just noticed about this game? You know how we talked about the NRL would shift games so they wouldn't clash with the AFL? Well, guess what game kicks off at 6:50? Oh, no, that's Saturday, right? Never mind. I changed my mind. I forget the league's on Sunday. I was about to say. No, because the All Blacks are playing. Or,
Oh,
no, I
yeah.
thought they were playing at the same time, but the All Blacks are Saturday.
Yeah.
The league's Sunday. Whew.
Well, I wondered if they scheduled it because of that.
Oh,
Yeah, 100% they did. 100% they did.
Because when I heard the start time for this, and I knew the start time for the All Blacks, I was like, "There's no way they've done that." And then I realized I was like, "Oh, this is Sunday."
yeah. I was
Bro,
like,
imagine though. Imagine. I'd
The
probably
balls
watch
on
the Kiwis.
NRL to do that? Fuck.
I'd 100% watch the Kiwis.
Can't lie, I'd be watching the All Blacks. Even though it's Japan, I'd be watching the All Blacks.
Nah, man, I'll be watching Kiwis. No disrespect, Japan. What's their thing? Is they? No, they're not Nihao. That's Chinese. Konnichiwa.
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 Oh my god! Why the accent?
No, that's how you got to. You gotta like add the tonalities to it. I did a couple of different language sessions with this linguist that came down to learn. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. Where do I think the game will be lost for the Kiwis? Probably in our tired forwards. The one thing I think the Kiwis will have over Australia is pride in that jersey. When these Kiwi boys pull their jersey on, they got a lot more pride in it than the Aussie boys, as shown by that 30-0 victory last year. One thing that got me was last week's game when the commentators were talking about, oh, this is the toughest fight the Kangaroos have had in a very long time. Cunts, you lost 30-0 last year in the final. I don't think it gets much tougher than that. Playing against Tonga, you're up fucking 6 points. Nah, the toughest game of your fella's life was losing 30-0 to us at home on your soil. And drunk us, we watched that at the burger joint. I only saw the Griffin Niame try. That's all I remember. But I feel like we watched that game like 3 or 4 times and still never saw the whole thing. Like, we put it on, we missed the highlights in the morning, we put it on again in the afternoon on the Sunday, missed it all again. All I kept watching was that Griffin Niame try. Each time I remember looking at the game, it was always that Griffin Niame try, bro. So shout out Big Griff, congrats on that starting position. Bro, you can't tell me he's looking staunch, G. He's got to be a brother, eh? In that picture, he's too staunch not to be a brother. Papali looks like he's about to ask you, G, got a dollar, yeah? Got a dollar? Tough. I think Kenny's going to go right back there. I think he'll do well. I feel like we've got too many players that don't actually play together very often, playing together, that it's going to cause a little bit of confusion. I don't know how it's going to work, this dynamic. The Sean Johnson, Nickel Klotstad dynamic is what I'm really talking about. Is where the hell's this ball going and who's it going to?
What do you mean?
Who's getting the ball here? And where's Sean going with it? Sean don't play with Will or Jermaine. He ain't got trust in those wingers.
I'll be going so in Sean will just have full control of the team. I'm guessing Chance, I'm assuming, I can't imagine he'll be a ball playing half, right? He'll surely be a running six.
Yeah. But what, are they going to run some of those backdoor plays where he'd be a sweeping fullback off a Sean Johnson line?
I wouldn't bloody know. Yeah, I'll just imagine Sean swings both sides.
I thought you were going to say both ways. I was going to be, that's crazy, bro.
I thought about it. I was like, you can't say that. Don't say that.
Oh, that's crazy, bro.
I think we got a shot as long as we got this forward pack. Fisher Harris, Naame, Tapine. You know, they seem to always put it on. So the platform will be there, I reckon. Mm-hmm. It's just whether... I don't know. One thing about Aussies is that they're always well polished, more particularly in defence. They don't really make...
Not so much last week. Not so much last week.
Now that they're a week in, you got a week long, like, you know, you got a full game to play together, kind of work out those kinks. So yeah, I'd assume that Kangaroos will be a lot more sharper this week than they were last week. And they are a scary team, man. You look at their team, it just looks solid. And you could say that this is even like not even an A team, maybe an A- team. Still solid, you know, but they got big people missing from their team as well. It's just more noticeable when we don't have our top side or top guns playing. Yeah. So I think we can match them in the forwards. It's just whether that spine can connect and how our backs will go. More particularly in defense, because I don't know, it might turn into a grindy game.
Yeah,
and you can't.
Keanu's going to need to be strong on defense because, you know, Lehigh Hopewate last week, bro, he looked like a soccer goalie playing for the FA Cup finals out there. He was saving everything. And a lot of people were saying, you know, he looks undersized in the NRL, but in that international game, bro, he looked like a giant out there. He was just, the way he was able to either pull people up or get himself under the ball, just his explosivity to get to the ball carrier to stop them getting tries. That Kangaroos team could have scored 3-4 more tries if it wasn't for Hopewate. So, yeah, look, this week, Keanu Kinney's going to have a big job ahead of him. But, you know, it shouldn't get to him. You know, he's the last line of defence, right? Our Kiwis boys should be getting up often and early. I know Lindsay Collins will still have a bit of a bruised rib under there after he got hospitalised by freaking Olokoatu. He got blessed. He just straight Devon Dudley'd him up under them ribs. Whoever serviced him that pass, he was supposed to be the decoy runner. They were supposed to go outside because Olakawatu had him lined up, and I think who was the other one? It was Adam Fanua Blake or someone on the other side. And poor Lindsay Collins sees them, tries to catch the ball. He's like, nah, fuck that, brace. And yeah, man, they just swallowed him up. So, big fish, go wind up that Lindsay Collins, get up in those ribs, boy. I know they're still green from last week, so get that in them. One thing I do want to say is there was a bit of confusion. A lot of the Australian public would like to see a different halves pairing next year. They want to see a different fullback. They weren't satisfied with Dylan Edwards' work rate out there, so be sure to see him fire up because, I mean, what was it? After that game, people were already like, oh, who's our Australian team going to be for next year? We don't want this team anymore. So there's already those sort of clamorities going around.
Yeah, I see it. I'll be honest, I'm a bit surprised they didn't make some changes after last week. Like, I thought there were moments where they were pretty poor. It just really helped that Tonga didn't capitalise on it. Who'd have thought? Lola here. Maybe not the world's best 7 or 6. But yeah, this game, man, I don't really know. I kind of look at it and I feel like Tarps and Fish, they're both gonna like lead. I think they can probably carry us, but it's then gonna be Chans at 6. Like, I love Chans. Chans in the house might be a slightly different thing. I'm a bit more interested to know to see how they're going to use Cody off the bench. Is Cody there just to cover 9, or is he actually going to come into the halves? And then I don't know, they push Chans to 13 maybe. Just try to like use him through the middle. It's my head hurts. My head hurts trying to figure out how on earth they're gonna run this.
I mean, I could see a world where Chance gets switched out the last second or last minute. Whether that
he becomes 14?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be, hate to say it, man, Peter Hiku might end up at 6 and Chance gets pushed to centre.
Well, they've got
Peter Hiku better end up at 18.
Yeah.
He better end up at 18 then.
But I guess this is a good trial game for us, right? Because, next week is our real test. If we lose to Tonga's in and they play Australia. So next week's the real game. This one's just a test run to see whose role is what, sort of thing. They've had a week longer than Australia to prepare for this game. However, fuck you, NRL. Give Australia the first 2 games. Give them the bye before the finals. Dickheads.
Hey, who'd have thought? Who'd have thought Aussie gets the favourable draw?
No, last year they didn't, though. Last year they played us one week and then the next week played us again.
Yeah.
Pumped us, then lost to us.
Man, I'm just saying, I would probably rather go first 2 bye than final. But yeah, are you guys surprised that they haven't made changes to this Aussie team, or do you think they will once the team's like kind of finalised a little bit more?
Nah,
I don't think you can. The next game for them is the final.
Yeah.
So what are you
This was the game that they needed to make changes.
What are you gonna do? I mean, like, there's a few things you could try, or take out, but
I'm really surprised Bradman didn't get a run.
Yeah, well, look, the hammer carved up, man. He was doing bits.
Yeah.
Turbo scored try, so I guess
Scored a try. He set up Hammer's second.
Yeah. So
Say
both
the
those
sweep.
players really kept their spot. It's just unfortunate that neither of them are actually centres.
Yeah, that's true.
And then their winger wants to be a centre.
He's a centre, man.
So what are you guys' predictions for this game? What are you expecting to see?
Look, I really don't know. I do think Aussie will come up on top. Scoreline couldn't really give you after seeing what they did. Well, I didn't see any of it last week, but from what I heard, they're kind of a bit rusty. I just don't think they'll be as rusty this time. I could see it being a bit ugly, to be honest. But I don't know. Maybe that's what we need. And then hopefully we can go on, beat Tonga, and then we'll see them in that one-off final. Maybe do something there. But to be honest, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I could see a world where Aussie just put it on us, and it might be a reverse, and it'd be 30 zip to Aussie. Yeah. It's about all I got, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's a tough one because so much of what we do is going to rely on, like attack-wise, is going to rely on Sean. And like I feel like we've seen enough games where when all the pressure is on him, like to create, it either goes really well or really bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know. He ended the season. He knew he was retiring. Part of me wonders, can he really kind of get back into that mindset for a couple games? Like the big one is Chance being at 6. If it's Cody starting at 6, I might be a little bit more comfortable with it, but just kind of not knowing is the tough one. I think Aussie made a lot of mistakes last week. Mistakes that, like they were rusty. They were fairly new to each other. Like a lot of the combinations were out there, like Dearden and Travojevic. They don't really play together. Travojevic had no interest in passing the ball to Zach Lomax. Zach Lomax probably had 2 tries there that Turbo just didn't give him the ball. But hey, still got love for your Turbo. Coach, like, bro, do you remember Coach doing anything last week?
Nah, not really.
I don't.
He had, a couple hit-ups? I remember.
Oh, yeah, like outside of the hit-ups.
Nah, that try. He almost got there. But, was it... Oh, frick. Was it Tango? No, it was the one outside of him. Was it Tango? No, Tango's not on that team, is he?
Oh, Alamotti.
Alamotti, that's it. Yeah. Paul, man, just... I hate that name.
Paul's 15 minutes. His first 15 minutes was really good.
Yeah.
And then we never saw him again.
Nah, it's because that Tongan team fatigued, man. The pace at which those Kangaroos kept ramming down their throat was just crazy.
Well, it also kind of helps. Both Tonga was sloppy, but so was Aussie.
Yeah.
Aussie completed 9 sets in the first half last week.
Tonga just couldn't capitalize on anything. It was tough.
Shock. Lolo, it was most of it.
To be fair, though, their defense, phenomenal. Pretty much
their defense was really good.
They held Aussie to a pretty low score. Like, Aussie still won, but they didn't pump them. Yeah. It was, still relatively close considering.
Yeah. A lot of it, though, Aussie bundled a few tries. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, did they. But then also, Lehigh just turned into Superman after time.
Bro,
like, he comfortably saved 3 or 4 tries.
He needs to be their fullback, man. He needs
to
sorry,
come to
Turbo.
the Bulldogs.
Sorry, Turbo. You're playing in the centres next season.
So Lehigh's game last week reminded me a lot of that Bulldogs game. The one where they just bombed it to him every single time and they just belted him. He just kept getting up. Keeping like it wasn't the same physical punishment, but just the way he just kept showing up. I was like, holy.
He's learned a lot, He's grown a lot this season.
Yeah.
He's really performed well.
Sorry, Tom. That long-term fullback spot might not be yours because I still like Kohler for fullback. Lehigh was unreal at fullback.
Yeah, we'll see. Kohler's still good where he can play.
Yeah.
Man, Manly is spoiled for choice. Manly a spoil for choice.
Yeah. Just trying to think about the score for this game, eh?
Well, before you get that, one thing I want to know from you lads is who scores our tries and where do they come from? Because, I don't think they're coming down Chance's side. I don't know how well Sean's going to be able to set the platter. If anything, we're going to have to rely on Tarps just to run out a dummy or get that short ball and just dive over the line, same as Fish. I think our tries are going to have to come from the forwards, just getting that short ball and just crash playing over the line, because I don't see any plays getting set up for the backs. Like, I know Stacey had a coach like that. I ain't never seen no trickery. I've never seen no set play out of, fifth tackle, 15 metres out. What's the play? Sean Johnson probably, and then probably just bomb it over to the wing. Then Manu Vatuvai doesn't play anymore. This isn't 2014. It's not going to work. So no, in Stacey I do not trust. There's only one Stacey I trust, and she's injured.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to figure out the score. I'm not gonna say we don't score at all. We kick an early penalty or something.
We'll find points. It's just no one can tell you where they're coming from. I don't think they're coming from our centres, unless an error from Aussie causes Timbuktu over the line.
You know what this reminds me of a lot of the time? A lot of the season, when I looked at the Tigers and I just wondered, where do our points come from?
Yeah.
That's very much the way I look at this.
We might get some good, penalties, 2 points out from the sideline. Isako slots it. They don't call him Jermaine slots it. Isako for no reason. He slots it. He'll be up there with Lomax.
Yeah, look, I think that's why I said I wouldn't be surprised if it's a reverse score of the final, 0-30. The only way I can see a tries off the good old would have to be Ishte. The good old Ishte short ball.
All the rainbow over the top.
Time and time again. Yeah, all the over the top.
I pray he doesn't throw that.
Hey, if he's got Warbrick on his outside, boom.
Is he throwing that over Coates? Because I have a feeling Coates picks it and goes the other way.
That's one thing I forgot I needed to talk about too before we move on from this is last week versus Tonga, Australia had mapped out. Tonga go pass, pass, pass. Australia were rushing. You know how New South Wales did in State of Origin? They were up on that ball carrier before the ball carrier got the ball. That's the defense the Kangaroos play. So if they can sort of decoy, bang out a wide one, but then come short to a prop, they can find some gaps. There will be holes in there if they play that defense.
Well, that was a little bit.
There'll be options for kicks as well, kicking behind. That
was a little bit how Ola Kawatu had a bit of success. Was that he kind of, instead of running his normal hole, he just came straight back towards the ball carrier, and because everyone was rushed up, he was just able to get there and hit them.
Exactly. So Australia are playing that rush defense to try and take out that man before they get the ball, or like Turbo did, pinch the ball and run off for a try. So the Kiwis got to be privy to that. They got to know that's coming, and that's the opportunity to go short, run back into those gaps where those lines will be, or stab in a grubber behind and get your speedsters to just tow it ahead, OG style.
That's a bit more where I was going, where I think our tries might come from.
Broken play?
Nah, it's a Sean Johnson grubber in behind.
Yeah.
And that's maybe you beat Turbo to the ball, maybe you beat Hammer to the ball. But boy, your defense better be bloody good, because if they grab it, they might go the field. So.
Oh, they will. We're going to see a bit of this. We're going to see a bit of this on Sunday night. I guarantee it.
Not to step on it, but the big plays and paydays might feature that man a bit.
Yeah, man. 100%. I feel like that's about as certified as a Chuck guarantee, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a Chuck guarantee.
Can't go wrong with a Chuck guarantee, man. So what's our scoreline prediction? I'll go 28-12. I feel like we got 2 tries in us, 3 tries in us.
That's, I don't know, I feel pretty generous. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go 30 to zip to Aussies, unfortunately.
Maybe we score 10?
Nah, we at least 12. Isako can kick.
Yeah, but I just don't know if we score 2 tries. That's why I said maybe 10. This could be a 6, it could be an 8. What did I pick for the girls' score? Oh, 30. Nah. 32-10.
Okay. That's not bad. We'll go with it.
I hate it so much. Chance at 6.
Hey, look, like I said, man, this is just kind of like the practice run, the warm-up for the final, if you will. We're getting some combinations this week. We're getting a feel for the boys. We got to still back the black. We just got to see...
Any team that has Warbrick on our back.
Yeah.
But,
Well, I mean, Warbrick looks good because he plays with a Munster and a Hughes. He's not on the Warriors with like a Johnson and a Clockstad. You know what I mean?
Chances is fullback. I'll back it. Chances is 6 though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But anyway, Farnos, sorry, not 6. Let's go 3:35 p.m. Make sure to tune in. Sky Sport 4 here if you're in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Watch our Wahine go up against the Jillaroos and then get the popcorn, get the Sunday roast. It's probably going to be pork belly, some spuds, some kumara, some pumpkin, a little bit of beans and peas, some gravy. Sit down at the dinner table, turn on the TV and watch that main event. And, you know, even if the Kiwis lose, at least you have a mean feed, right? That's all that matters. We'll save big plays and paydays for the end of the show. We'll get into our season review now. We're starting off at the bottom of our power rankings. So how our power rankings ended up last season was Souths, Broncos, Tigers, Dragons, Titans, Wars, Dolphins, Eels, Raiders, Bulldogs, Seagulls, Knights, Sharks, Cowboys, Roosters, Panthers, and the Melbourne Storm. So we're going bottom to the top. We're not doing it all in one episode, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. We're already 48 minutes into this episode. Don't worry. We're not going to get through all of them. But we will get through some of them. How many will be determined on how long they take to get through this episode, and then we'll just figure it out as each week goes. But each of us will have, you know, a couple of things to say. So it's going to be some of the surprises. It might be a good surprise or a bad surprise. Some letdowns, whether it's coaches, players, or the club as a whole. Needs for next season, and then to round out, because you know you got to have like a compliment sandwich, right? Like, fuck you, you're ugly, you're kind of cool, fuck you. You got to round it out with one key highlight, which we will be doing, ladies and gentlemen, for each of these teams. So we'll start off with the Bunnies. Who wants to go first on this one? I'll go first on the next one. We'll have a turn getting through each team.
Yeah, I can kick us off. I mean, the Bunnies, we had high hopes for them, or I did. That's a solid team. You would think that the inclusion of a Dally M winner and Jack Whiten would be enough to almost get you over the edge. Not for making the playoffs. This was just disappointing year all around. Surprise for me. Well, I guess hindsight's 2020 wasn't really a surprise, but the signs were there. I mean, the firing of Demetrio or whatever his name was.
Yeah, JD.
It just didn't help anything. Just wasn't the thing. So definitely didn't see that coming. Letdowns. I don't know, man. I think they were kind of doomed by injuries. I really do think they missed Campbell Graham. I think he's someone they missed immensely. on that edge as a defender, but feel as though they just always have something go wrong for them. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't help when you fire your coach. I mean, it seems like he lost the locker. Everyone knew Wayne was coming back, so feel as though they were all just gearing up for next year, really. Yeah, I mean, Cam Murray missed a ton of games from memory. That didn't help. You had Cook on the outer, ends up signing somewhere else. So just I don't know, it wasn't really good from the start, and it just got worse and worse. Latrell had moments, but few and far between. There's still talks about how many seasons is he a fullback? Do they just shift him back to centre? I don't know, Cody Walker, the Lachlan Ilias situation didn't help anything. They're still looking like fools for not re-signing Adam Reynolds. I mean, yeah. Look, that's about all I got to say, really, for them. Needs a lot. Well, actually, I don't think they need a lot. I think they need just a few tweaks. And I think Wayne will be the one to do it. I do expect them to bounce back. So I don't know if I have them in my 8, but I'm assuming they'll probably end up in my 8 come pre-season. Team's just too talented. But yeah, man, overall, disappointing season. You just rubbed that one out of the history books. Hope you come back strong, and hopefully everyone's healthy. But yeah, that's about all I got, really, for the South. Are we giving them a grade? Nah.
Let's give them a grade.
Will they get an F?
Bro, yeah, I was about to say, you're at the bottom of the power rankings. That's an F.
That's an F. There's no questions about it. You get an F. Yeah.
Yeah, my surprise. I've got a few. I've got a few. I'll go in order. My first surprise was that JD started the season as the Rabbitohs head coach. The signs were there last year that he should be gone with the way they just created. And I get there's not a ton of great head coaches on the market, like especially not for last season. No, like just like even for like last season, like a coach you could pick up. Like there weren't a whole heap unless you're going to go down the route of an experienced coach. But with that playing group, you can't have that.
Yeah,
you can't put a first year coach with a Latrell, a Cody, and think, oh, it's going to be sweet. we saw it with JD. My second surprise was just how poorly they started the season. They were bad. I know they went 0-5. They go.
Their first win was against my Bulldogs, and it's a game that we should have won.
Was it the game? I felt like the game I watched, and the ref just straight up said, "Nope, not today." There are a few Bulldogs games where I was like, "Oh, this ref just hates them."
Bro, it went like that. They didn't like them, so then they couldn't get off their deck.
Yeah. But it was like this start of the season. I was surprised that JD kept the job into the season, but then when they started that way, it was clear he had to go. Like it wasn't like a Brad Arthur situation, but we can talk about that later on. So yeah, my surprise was that JD kept his job from last year, and then just their start to the season, because at that point, they didn't have Campbell Graham, but they were still relatively healthy. Like they still had a lot of really good players there available, and they just didn't show up. Like the first, I think maybe 6 games, I felt so sorry for Cam Murray. I was like, this brother is on his own. He has absolutely zero help. Disappointments. It's Latrell. It will always be Latrell until he sorts his shit out. It was one of the things where when Wayne was there, when was Latrell never available? The finals. Suspended, injured. Like, when you're that $1 million player and you're meant to get you there. Yeah. So for him to be suspended, injured, again, it's... I'll continue to be disappointed. I feel like he's not a fullback. Like
Yeah, I agree.
for
Just defensively, eh?
it's yeah. Oh, it's also he's not Dylan Edwards. Like we all look at Dylan Edwards as probably the best fullback. Latrell talent wise has the potential to be the best fullback, but he's often out of position on defense. There's a lot of times where not so much this year, but more so last year, where they needed Latrell as a link man, and he was never there. He was on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to be found. So yeah, it's Latrell, and then it's the disappointment is JD. So much of this is because JD was their coach this year. Their needs for next season, they need to figure it out. I have no doubt that Wayne will, but I'm wondering if Wayne, being so much of the player manager he is, if he kind of says, we're going to give Latrell the option, or basically the right to lose the fullback spot. Like if Latrell doesn't show up, then yeah, he's going to go to the centres. But if he does, then what happens to Jai Gray? Because Jai Gray was really good this year. What else do they need? I don't know. They need to figure out what's happening in the halves. Was it Lewis Dodd? The English half? Is he going to play? Are they going to stick with Jack and Cody? If they are going to stick with Jack and Cody in the halves, who's their other centre? Because I promise you can't run back Tane Milne. You can't run back Isaiah Tass, Isaac Thompson, and then expect Campbell Graham to still play a whole season, because I'm almost certain Campbell Graham's never played a whole season. Like, he's always missed games here and there for injury. Just this past year, he's missed the whole season. So I think they really need to figure out, is Latrell going to play centre one? And then if he is going to play fullback, then who the hell's the other centre? My one key highlight, probably, it's probably what's his name? What's his name just before Jai Gray? Tyrone Munro finally getting a run. Tallis Duncan finally getting a consistent run. I feel like his debut, he was really good, and then we didn't see him again for ages. So it's just kind of like they're young guys. And are they going to continue to be given opportunities with Wayne there and with who's incoming? But yeah. What about you, Ra? What have you got for the Rabbits?
Look, man, I hate the Bunnies. Let's just get that out there. My surprise is, I think, yeah, like Sam, I'll go to my letdown first, though, is I'm let down by Latrell. Letting yourself get suspended in the way that he did. It's disappointing, man, considering, he is the face of Indigenous rugby league players alongside, Josh Adokar. You always think of Latrell and Josh Adokar as the modern, Preston Campbell's of game. Preston Campbell and Matt Bowen were two of the stalwarts for Indigenous players in the NRL. And, for me, getting yourself caught up, I know you're a young player. I know, everyone has parties, everyone does what they do. But, man, when you go out with the boys, regardless of who they are, man, you got to vet people when you're going to parties. Make sure that phones all get put away, bro, because you're a high-profile player. What you do in your own time's up to you, cuz. That's all you. But, you're a role model for your communities. And to see, a role model like that in sort of a situation like that, yeah, just really, that's a big letdown for me. Surprises, I'm kind of surprised by some of the young talent. You talked about the Jai Gray, Tallis Duncan. Sad about Lachlan Ilias. I just don't think he had the right coach to help him thrive. I still think he would have been a quality player, got injured, but I still think he was a quality player. What else? I guess I was surprised that they managed to find a way to pick Wayne Bennett back up and bring him to the club. Although there's not many places Wayne would want to go. It'll either be Dragons, Newcastle, or Bunnies, I guess, if he was still looking for a job. Apparently, Kiwis didn't think he was good enough to coach the Kiwis, but yeah, we'll talk about that after we lose this series. But those are kind of my three big things, and my one key highlight or standout moment from this club. Man, there wasn't really anything of interest for me this season with this particular club. Shit, I can't even think. Maybe like a head high from Tane Milne or the other guy. What was the other one? Kina?
Can I actually give Tane Milne a bit of a rap this year?
What, for not killing anyone?
I genuinely think this was his best year. He, like, when I didn't watch them often, but when I did, he avoided a lot of dumb shit that he normally does. These random swinging arms where he's the fifth man in a goddamn tackle and he hits someone who's already on their way to the ground. Like, he gets a lot of shit and he deserves it because of the stuff he's done over there. But genuinely, this year, I feel like he's actually been really controlled from what I've seen. But
50-50.
compared to the normal Tane Milne experience.
Yeah, true.
This year, he's actually been a bit better.
I actually think I think I know my key highlights. I think one was Peter Amadeus coming in when they dropped Cook and shifting Keon into that lock position for a bit there. I think those were some key highlights for me for this Bunnies team. But like I said, I don't really like the Bunnies, so let's move on. The Brisbane Broncos. I'll start us off here. You know, my biggest surprise is Billy Walters actually has like a decent looking wife. So not bad, brother. Not bad. That was my biggest surprise from this team. Letdowns. I don't know where to start. Do I start with, I don't know, the coach, the playing staff, the players, the trainers, the fans, the field, the groundsmen? I don't know where to start with this team. You all let me down. We couldn't win a home game. We couldn't win an away game. Shit, it was a waste of time getting on that plane and flying to New South Wales to play there, because I don't know if we came up with any victories, especially at the last part of the season. We couldn't even get a win. We could barely get a point. We talked about earlier what players can we expect to score some points. Hell, at the end of the season, we had freaking Payne Haas, Patrick Carrigan, what's his name, Adam Reynolds. We had all those players, Ezra Mam, and we still couldn't score a point. So for me, the Brisbane Broncos organization was the biggest letdown for me. Just being let down by poor decisions in management, wasting money on contracts we don't damn well need, buying players we have got no interest in, letting them crash into Uber drivers and shit. You know what? I hope Uber reaches out to the Broncos and sponsors them next year. That'll be hilarious. One key highlight. Oh, man. I don't know. Maybe it was Taylor May and Reece Walsh, round 3. Maybe that was my key highlight. I don't know. Maybe that's too far. Maybe it was...
not Joseph in game
Joseph
1.
Suaalii, Reece Walsh, State of Origin, game 1. I don't know, man. Just too many injuries this season as well, right? That's a letdown. But I'll let one of the other boys take care of that letdown. I don't know. What is the key highlight for me? What was the highlight?
Jordan Ricky in the centres.
Blake Moser coming onto the scene, finally getting some game time. Too late in the season, but I think he was the highlight for me. He was just a standout player. Really got our attack moving. He was exactly what we needed when the coach wouldn't sack his son. He should have been starting, but I do see the impact that Blake has off the bench. So I'd be interested to see what they do next year. I just wish that they'd bring Blake Moser on a little bit earlier in the game and maybe shifting that hooker somewhere else. But yeah, I don't know if Blake's going to be an 80-minute player. I do love what he does off the bench, but he needs to kind of be more like a Wishart and put on a bit more beef and be more, what do they call that? Utilitarian. Have more sort of strings to your bow. Needs for next season. Well, I've got a Christmas wish list. My first wish list has been granted. I wanted a new coach from I think about round 3 onwards. I've been saying on this podcast I want a new coach from about round 3 onwards. So Santa came early. We now have Madge, Michael Maguire. That's part 1 done. Part 2, we need a new starting hooker. Billy should just stay at home with his wife and kids and dogs. What else do we need? We need some more props. We need some better forwards. We need this blood test to come back positive. That's another thing we need. That will free up about $1 million a season. Because our current priority is on Katoni Staggs, re-signing him. So Cobbo is allowed to explore further options. However, if Ezra Mann's blood test comes back positive, ladies and gentlemen, Selwyn and Staggs stay at the Broncos. And that's what we need. We need those 2 lads to stay. We need, another prop. We need a second rower that can improve. Like, I do love Jordan Ricky. He's great, but he didn't improve on last season. I don't even know who the hell Brandon Piakuta is anymore. He was supposed to be some big bloody godsend. He was supposed to be so good they sent Capel to the Warriors. I haven't seen anything but mediocrity. I reckon Alex Glenn could lace him up and still outplay that guy. So, yeah, man. Bring back the days of like Matt Gillett, Corey Parker, Alex Glenn, Sam Thaiday, Ben Hannant when he came over for a little bit. We had some great players, and now we got Kobe Hetherington and Jack Gwasecki and Fletcher Baker. Those names don't even It's just depressing. But those are my sort of review and outlook on the season. I think we need I take that back. What we need is a better culture at Brisbane. It's being run by those pretty boy superstars. They're running amok. I mean, one of them's close to going to jail if he gets a positive blood test, and yeah, I'm hoping. But yeah, what do you guys think? We'll go to you too. We'll go to you too.
You pretty much covered most of it, so I might keep this one a little bit short. Surprise! I think I was on the Broncos bandwagon a little bit longer than you were. Still had belief in the team that they could do it, just with the talent that they had. Yeah, and they still nearly made it. Got to that last game, and then wasn't to be. Letdowns. I mean, even I was just injured, really. So, not really much to say there. Needs. I don't know, man.
There's a list, eh?
That's a tough one. Can you highlight? You said it. Kind of the young ones coming through. Moza, even Xavier Willison, and Ben Takuta. It's good seeing. Yeah, you could see it. So, and then obviously have to talk about the bro Dean Mariner.
Oh, yeah.
How could I not?
I did forget, my bad.
Yes. He was in the running to be Winger of the Year until he became a centre.
That could be your letdown, eh?
Yeah, and then stopped scoring tries. That's what happened. But, yeah, it's about all I got, man. I guess surprise would be, I thought Staggs would have had a really good year. I thought he was solid for yous. Yeah. That's about all I got, man. Highlights. Is that the year over, I guess? Now this next year. Move on to what's next.
Hey, our highlights come from 2006.
But I'm just gonna keep it short. You pretty much covered it. That's all I've got for you. I don't know, Sam, if he's got anything.
biggest surprise. It probably comes from actually the start of the season when you guys decided Cobbo could play centre.
Hey man, he did good there. He did good there.
I'll be honest, I was skeptical about it at the start. I still am. Like, I have no doubt he can play there at times, but like to be a consistent centre.
To be fair, he didn't get consistent time at centre. He was on the wing some games, he was fullback some games it was just a shit show in Brisbane this year.
So I was a big Herbie fan. Like I knew you guys would miss him.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that badly though. Kurt Capewell, I was like, I've always liked him as a player because he's not great, but he's solid. He's solid. He doesn't overplay his hand, but he also very rarely doesn't show up. Like, yeah, they shift him out to centre at times and he gets exposed there, but that's because he shouldn't be there. But yeah, so it was, like letting go of those two, I think really hurt, especially not replacing them with experience. Because it's one of the big things that Broncos team is bloody young.
Mm.
So I think that was my biggest surprise was that, like some key pieces rarely left. And they just didn't really get, they just never really got, replaced, I guess. Like what's his name? Koskowski or something?
Yeah.
That one. The one who came over from the Cowboys mid-season. Like, that was an attempt, I guess, to try and kind of fix some things, but, like, that didn't really work. And then my surprise was that...
Can't roll shit in glitter and call it gold and give it to us.
The Cowboys did.
They robbed us, man.
The Cowboys did.
They robbed us.
Disappointments, probably... Nah, this is more of a surprise. Surprised that Penrith curse is actually a thing. Like, granted, last year you guys had, you guys and the Warriors, to be fair, had an unreal health run where just like your key players just never got hurt, and this year they did, which kind of like you can see the drop off to that point. My disappointment. Probably the fact that there was no real Reynolds cover when he's played his whole career at South Sydney and they didn't want to give him the third year because they knew eventually the injuries were coming. And he broke down this year and there was no real replacement for him. Like Ezra wasn't ready. He's been paid like he is. Mm-hmm. He's not. But yeah, like there's no like a Chad Townsend in the back. I thought that's who you guys might actually go out and try to sign when the Cowboys said, nah, he's not coming back here. You guys might go out there and try to get Chad Townsend so that way he can get a bit of a break or Adam can get a bit of a break. And then you really attack like the mid part and the back end of like next season if you need a second quality 7. That was kind of the way. I was a bit surprised you guys didn't do that. But yeah, the disappointment is that there was no real planning from the looks of it of like a successor at 7.
No, we call that lack of coaching.
Unless it was Ezra.
I think it was.
Which,
that's something positive, else. Ladies and gentlemen. Praying for positive.
Needs for next season, but it's health. That I think is your guys' best bet. Like Madge, I kind of said it when we talked about Madge, right? Like there's a world in which this goes really well. There's also a world in which this goes poorly. Mm-hmm. Poorly because those young boys don't want to hear it from Madge. They don't want to hear, hey, you won a comp 10 plus years ago? Cool, brother. How did your Tigers stint go? Cool, you won the Pacific Nations Cup against the not great Aussie side. You won the State of Origin. Hey, cool. One series.
To be fair, half these kids weren't born when he was at the Tigers.
Hey, man, what Tales of Tiger Town or whatever that shit was called. That still exists. So, yeah, I think the need for next season is health. And then the players that regressed, kind of like they kind of get back to what they were last year. One key highlight, bro, I kid you not last night, the night before. James Roberts. His Brisbane Broncos highlights came up on my Facebook, and I sat there and watched it. Oh, it was a beautiful thing to watch. I was like, I forgot how good you were, considering the back end of his career. You know, we heard all about like his off the field things in terms of probably the more mental aspect of things, right? That weren't really talked about at that stage, but now they are. Just watching his highlights was my Broncos highlight.
Hey, man.
So I had a little bit of a laugh when you said all your highlights come from 06.
Bro, they do. They do. We have zero relevant highlights. Even our social media team were posting highlights like of Jermaine Sarkle when we played the freaking Dolphins. I was like, that's how bad our team is. We're playing the opposition's highlights when they played for us. We've got no current highlights. We ain't got no fucking Jack Gesicki or Fletcher Baker putting on hits. We've got them knocking the ball on every time they fucking touch it.
I kid you not, my highlight was just about what the Dolphins did to you guys.
Yeah, bro.
Oh,
it's depressing, man. It's depressing. You know what? One thing I will say is, before we move on, is one need that the Broncos need is buy-in. They need buy-in from the players into Madge's coaching style, into his, whatever they call that, is philosophy. So, if we don't get that buy-in, it ain't happening. Next on the list is the West Tigers. Sam, what have you got for us?
Surprises. I was, like, obviously Lockie Galvin. Lockie Galvin was a massive surprise. I'd heard about him in the preseason. Heard he was pretty good. A lot of people tossed up him as a centre. They said, yeah, he might get a bit of a run at 6, but he's probably going to play mostly in the centres this year. Boy, he got that jersey. He got that 6 jersey, and he didn't let it go. He didn't let it go. So, yeah, it's Lockie Galvin. It's Sam Walafanu. He was unbelievable for us this year. One club player of the year. I definitely felt like he was. Even when Galvin was out there playing, like, yeah, a lot of our points came through Galvin, but he honestly, he was a beast most of the season. Just a little bit unfortunate he didn't have anyone else to go along with him. So, yeah, it's those two. Fanua Bolle was really good. He's a little bit underrated, so I like it. We finally managed to re-sign Fatape. He's on a development contract for next year, so we love it that we got him back. Other than that, surprises. Our defense at times looked really good, but boy, once it cracked, just everything came down. So yeah, I think like our surprise is that the young guys were actually so good and were like our best players. We're our best players. Like Appy's still around as one of our best players this season, but I don't think he would have made. Oh, he might have been the third best, maybe. But yeah, disappointments. Our discipline. With the most send-offs. The most sin bins and most send-offs. A few were unlucky, but the large majority were just dumb. So dumb. So yeah, it was that. It was our defense once the dam kind of broke. Yeah, there was no real stopping anything. Adam Caesar, like it feels a little bit. Is Aiden Caesar. It feels a little bit tough to be disappointed with him, given where the club is, his age, and sort of like the expectations were. But I thought he would be a lot better than what he was. I thought he would at least be able to somewhat control the team, and he didn't. He didn't. There were times where, like, his kicking game was really good, but that was few and far between. Like, he didn't really do a lot this season, and he was another one who got sent off quite a few times. You know, like, you're kind of going rough when you're sevens getting sent off. I think 3 times this season, 3 times, and suspended a few more games. So yeah, there's that. Disappointment was kind of how we handled the Galvin situation at times, where it's an 18-year-old kid, man. We suck, and he's broken his hand, and we're trying to get him to play. Like, I get people who were saying, you know, like, it's a job, he's going to have to do this eventually anyway. Not when we suck. Not when we suck, but it's hard enough. But I also get the fact that Latu Whānau at that point wasn't ready. I pray I never see Jaden Sullivan play again. Oh my God, he's so bad. He's so bad and he's on 500k. That's another disappointment. Whoever Bob Fulton gave him that contract. Needs for next season. We've got Lua. Am I over the moon about it? Not really. Like, he showed a lot of improvement and a lot of maturity in his game this year. Part of me kind of wonders if we're bad, like if we're super bad again next year, does that kind of revert a bit and we get a little bit more of the Lua who goes off the handle at times. But yeah, needs for next year is honestly just working on like our discipline. We can't have it where I think we had 17 people in the bin this season. We just can't have that again. We can't have that again, especially not if we're going to try to improve. And especially if we've got a bunch of really good young kids coming through and their first introduction to the NRL is, it's all good to be sent off. It's all good to go sit down for 10 minutes because we did dumb shit. So yeah, I think discipline's definitely a key one. Teaching Whātape to pass, that might be a good one. Maybe play him on the wing.
No. Keep him not passing. Gee, he gets fantasy points.
Yeah, but you don't get actual points. I saw
Fantasy's all I need him for.
Bro, I saw him butcher so many tries this year because he just didn't pass to the winger. So yeah, teaching him how to pass would be good. Is that? And just, yeah, like, it's getting Appy some help. It's getting Appy, it's getting Galvin, it's getting Whānau some help because, man, there are times throughout the season where Appy just looked hammered. He looked hammered and it was 30, 40 minutes still to go in the game just because the amount of traffic teams were sending down him because they knew if we get Appy out of here, we're going to have a pretty good chance to make this an easy second half. One key highlight. Might have been when we were 2-1. Might have been when we were 2-1 and the flag might have been flying a little bit high. I was letting everyone know we're coming for 9th. Gone are the days where we used to hate the 9th spot. I bloody pray for it now. Just some hope. But yeah, no, one key highlight. Probably Jason Saab. We just turned into absolute butterfingers against us and helped us win that game over Manly. Yeah, that's my one key highlight. What do you guys got?
All right, not bad. Surprises. I was surprised that your entire club won a wooden spoon. I feel like there wasn't a comp you didn't win a wooden spoon, so that surprised me. I didn't know that was available for clubs to win every spoon. But the Tigers went out and did it. They didn't want just 3 in a row. They wanted everything. They got the wooden. We were all right. So that was my biggest surprise. Look, my letdown this season was, I think, the penalties, the errors that they just let creep into the game. They were there for about 10, 15 minutes. and then they just somehow let in the other team with back-to-back penalties, and then the other team scores, and then from there on out, it's an uphill battle that the Tigers never won. Needs for next season, I don't think you guys need anything. I think you just need to look at what you've got coming in next season, build some chemistry there, and reassess, because you've already got Luai coming in. I don't know who else. Oh, you've got Bird
Taruva.
coming in, Taruva. So you've
Royce
got a
Hunt.
lot of players coming through that I feel like that's enough. Just figure out what you got to do with all those players, because you've still got an unproven coach that you kind of needed to let him just figure shit out. He's got a good team. Figure it out. And just pray you don't win another wooden spoon. My one key highlight was going to be your third spoon in a row, but I think it was that game versus Sharks where you guys beat them. Was it like your first game or your second game of the year where you guys beat the Sharks?
I think it was it would have been our second or third, because we had the bye, we lost to the Raiders, and then 2 wins.
Yeah, and that's because you've covered pretty much everything else from the Tigers. So that was my quick brief hit list for the Tigers.
And then my little list for the Tigers. Surprise, you already said it was the Young Bucks. Lucky Garvin looked good. Samuel Fainu, even Latu Fainu, the young ones coming through. Gives you something to build off. The letdowns are probably all the senior players. Was there leaving? John Bateman didn't even finish out the season. Clemmer. I don't know what happened to him. So just like all your senior vet leaders kind of just...
Bro, and Clemmer's not even old.
Yeah, we brought this up. Oh, sorry, no, he is. He's 30. He's 30, nearly 31. I got that so wrong when I said it before. Like, oh, this dude's 28. It was somebody else. Is it Rio Campbell-Gillard that's 28?
No, he must be close to 30 as well now. Or maybe late 20s,
Anyway,
but he's got to be 30.
carry on.
Needs, I put it down as need a couple more in the forward pack. I don't know if John Bateman's even going to make it to next year. There's rumours Manly are looking at him. But, I mean, you lost Stefano, right? So you need someone to come in and replace him. And
Royce Hunt?
Royce Hunt, yeah. So, I think
Good
that's
impact
where
player
I'll
off
be
the
looking
bench,
at.
yes.
Yeah, that's where I'll be looking at. Needs will be in their forward pack. And then the only highlight I had was Adam Dewey coming back.
Yeah.
He was like, on the sideline for ages. So to see him at least, come back and play whatever it was, even one game, after what he's been through, I thought was pretty good. So those are my quick little review of the season for the Tigers.
And that's your Tigers. The last one for today's reviews is the St. George Illawarra Dragons. What do you got for us too?
St. George Illawarra Dragons, the surprise. It's got to be Lomax, right? Has to be. I mean, the centre who wants to be a centre but plays wing and all of a sudden is a international rep level player. At one point, I swear he was the hottest player in the comp. So, that has to be, for me, the biggest surprise. I don't think anyone saw that coming. The transformation. I think the potential was always there, but to actually see it, I can't. That was probably this one, the biggest surprise for me. Biggest letdown. Oh, I guess another surprise was, I do have to give them credit. I'm pretty sure I picked them to win the spoon. And they didn't. In fact, they were all the way there till about, 2 weeks left. They should have been in the 8 until they blew it. With 3 weeks left to go, that's a meltdown. You should be able to ice that and find a way to get into the playoffs when you have that big of a lead with not many weeks left. So to choke, that was a bit of a surprise. Well, surprised that they didn't win the wooden spoon, and then surprised that they fumbled it and didn't end up in the playoffs. Letdowns. I don't know, really. I guess I don't. I mean, I watched him a little bit, but didn't really excite me. Maybe the fact that Ben Hunt's somehow still on the team. I don't know how. Like, just let him go, bro. Let him go. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to. He's been wanting to leave for a long time. You know, but it looks like he might finally get his wish, so that'd be good. Needs. I don't know, man. They got Valentine Holmes coming in. They got Damien Cook coming in. There's talks that they might be getting Josh Adokar.
I reckon Little's still going to be better than Cook.
Yeah, well, who knows, right? I don't know, man. I think if they could get a half of Ben Hunt or something, I think they're still maybe finding their identity, but it looks like they're slowly getting it. They're slowly turning into like a Shane or Flanagan team that's molded after their coach. And didn't he? Wait, is it? Oh, I can't remember. But yeah. So overall needs, I don't know. I feel as though they're getting good players in. They're vets. But they might be a little bit past their prime. So I don't know whether it was an improvement or just a sideways shuffle. I feel as though they do need a big splash, whoever that is. I don't know. I think they should look to the Super League for that superstar to try bring it all together or build around. And then my highlight, what would my highlight be of the Dragons? Can't really think of one off the bat, man. To be honest with you. I don't know, I don't got one off the top of my head. Might just be the Ben Hunt, Zach Lomax kick. Well, you know, the Ben Hunt kick to Zach Lomax seems to be a winning play. Yeah. Look, I don't have much to say about them. I think in terms of grades, I would give them like I was thinking C plus B minus. Probably leaning towards more of a B minus. So better than expected. But then they somehow choked it. They got good pieces coming in next year. Do I think they'll improve? I really don't know. I could not tell you. But yeah. Yep, that's all I got. Anyone want to go next? Sam, go next.
My surprise for the season. Probably Kyle Flanagan biting someone. That might have been up there. Nah, it's Kyle Flanagan. It's the fact that he actually looked like an NRL player for most of the season.
Until he decided to have a munch.
Hey man, I don't blame him. I'm not the biggest Critter fan, so if Critter wants to come smush his nose into my mouth, I might have a bite on it too.
Just hit him up.
Yeah, Critter probably hit him in the head like 2 sets beforehand, and play on.
Yeah, facts.
Well, the surprise for the whole season, right? Like, as like two said, like a lot of people picked them to be wooden spoon or thereabouts, which I suppose kind of did happen. Actually, no, I forget. This is our power ranking, not the final season standings. So that's the whole season it's the whole season really. Like the way they were in the 8 for most of it, and then the way they shit the bed. Like that was unbelievable. Disappointments. I'll be honest. If you think about it from the start of the season, like I don't really think a Dragons fan could be disappointed with the season.
Yeah.
Like I think it'd be really harsh to have a disappointment for the season, but it is the same as their surprise, right? It's the end of the season. That is one thing you would be disappointed about because throughout the season they would have built up your hopes a little bit to like, hey, like we're gonna have a chance. Like we're not gonna win a premiership, but we're gonna be and the players for where the club's been the last few years, like, you know, that's a massive win. Their needs for next season, I actually think it is Ben Hunt. I think they need to keep him. Well, because the whole thing is, right, is I don't understand why, if you're bringing in a Valentine Holmes, a Damien Cook, potentially a Gutho, potentially a Josh Adokar, I don't know why the hell you let your 7 go. Especially your 7 who had, I'm pretty sure, over 30 tries this year. Like, to me, that makes no sense that you're going to let him
Lomax
go.
went and got them.
But like, if you're bringing like all these veteran players, right? Like, I don't understand why you would let him go, because surely if you're doing that, like, you're potentially like trying to, like, yes, you're trying to lay down your standard so the young guys coming through see it, and they say, oh, okay, well, if our best players are being held to that standard, then like we have to get there as well, rather than what happened at the Tigers. Oh, the young players are setting the standard. Why are we being treated like rookies? But yeah, it's. I think the need is they need to keep Ben Hunt if they're going to try to do anything next year with these with the signings that they're making, because the signings they're making are veteran players. Val Holmes, what we get from him next year is a little bit of a mystery. Pre his contract being sorted out, he didn't really look all that great. Once the contract got sorted out, he looked unbelievable. But he's also coming off a broken leg, so what do we expect from that?
Interesting, yeah.
That's a good point.
So yeah, that's why, because like when you said like they might be a little bit past their peak, I was like, oh, I don't know, Val was pretty good, but he is coming off a broken leg. If they go in for Gutho, like, yeah, at times he can look like a elite fullback, but
Are they going to be the Koro Club next year?
yeah, like he can do it at times, just not consistently. So I'm wondering if they sign him, where does he play? Cook was a strange signing. Like, Jake Little was unbelievable. Really pissed me off because he never showed any of that at the Tigers. He was at the Tigers to start the season. He didn't show any of this there. So yeah, I'm a little bit confused about what they're trying to do next season. And if they let Ben Hunt go, I don't know who the hell plays 7 for them. Is it Kyle Flanagan?
They'll probably have some young buck from reserve grade come through.
Oof. I mean, they've got that like in King Tonga. They've got him, but he's definitely a 6. Like I watched this game. He's a 6. If they want to try and make him the 7, good luck.
The one, but he's got the court thingy, right? Amoni? Talato Amoni? He was the half coming through, but he's the one that's on the no fault stand down. Yeah, because he was their long
favorite policy.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think they need to keep Ben Hunt. One key highlight. I don't know if I have one. I genuinely don't know if I have one. And the one key highlight might be to be honest, Tyrell Sloan. Like, to start the season, he looked unbelievable. Yeah. I was kind of like, oh, maybe he can play at this level. And then throughout the season, he went back to old Tyrell Sloan. Yeah. apart from little bits of that game, like that Parramatta game, like that probably is the highlight. Even though the result went the way it did, like that was like that second half was pretty good from the Dragons. But yeah, I don't know. I think Tyrell Sloan might be the one highlight. Like, it might have given you some hope that with a bit more time he can sort of consistently produce what he did at the start of the season. But yeah, other than that, I don't know. I didn't really watch a ton of the Dragons. The Couchman brothers.
Yeah, they're not bad. I like them.
I don't know. What have you got for the Dragons?
Yeah, look, the St George Illawarra Dragons, again, the biggest surprise for me was Lomax. Is, what do they call that? Standout season? Is it stalwart season? I don't know. His season was awesome. It was a 2 Mickey season, my bra, out there on the wing. Those try assists, all to Lomax off the kick. Those balls went up and Lomax went a sniffing. So, yeah, awesome mahi from the bra. I did get into them from Sloan. I watched Sloan one game and I was like, he's wicked. Keep watching them. Then Lomax, he's on out there on the wing, and then forgot Sloan was even on the team. Biggest letdowns, yeah, look, it's got to be the letting Lomax go. That's got to be the biggest letdown from this Dragon side. You know, he wanted out, but then that was at the start of the year. You guys should have said, look, play this full year and we'll talk about you getting out next year, and sort of let that thing play out, because I feel like he could have changed his mind or whatever. Yeah, I know. Halfway through the year, you know, he could have changed his mind. They could have kept him. But hey, he's off. That's a letdown, man. That's a letdown. Letting your own, well, one of your 2 rep players go. Needs for next season, I don't know, just hopefully build off of this success. I mean, you got a lot of new players coming in next year. Maybe good, maybe bad. We'll see. I mean, it's the Koro Club. It's going to be very hard to tell what you're going to get out of them. Whether it's going to be 80% of the season in injured reserve or playing like, you know, they wound back the clock. It's either or with old players. One key highlight, I guess it would be 56-14. What round was that? Round 14, 56-14. Yeah. Zach Lomax just went God mode. 9 from 9 conversions. That is my key highlight. 9 from 9 conversions. What did he score? 4 tries or 3 tries?
Doesn't matter.
3 tries. So it was 9 tries, 9 conversions, 56-14. Zach Lomax went absolute God mode, albeit versus the Tigers. But yeah, that is my highlight. And the grade they get for this season, I'm going to say B-. Everyone at the start of the year had them as the Wooden Spooners alongside the Bulldogs and the Tigers. Only one of those 3 teams won the spoon. One made the top 8 and the other just missed out. So for that reason alone, I'm going Dragons B-. I'll go back to the top. Bunnies get an F, Broncos get an F, and the Tigers get an F-. You won the spoon.
We all right. Suppose I've got to go back and do that as well.
Yeah, just quick grades.
Bunnies, yep, F. Massive F. Broncos, bigger F.
Bro, facts. You're in the grand final. You can't even make that.
Tigers. I genuinely don't think the Tigers are an F. Because if you had told us we improved on last season, I was don't see it. I'll give us a D.
A D?
Yeah, D. Not quite an F. Not quite an F.
Minus.
But here's the thing. Our roster sucks. Yo, those other 2 rosters are good. They just didn't show up.
Oh, your roster?
Granted, now the Broncos were in hospital.
Roster.
The Broncos were in hospital, so that's understandable. The Bunnies, though, that's a definite F.
Yeah, facts.
The Dragons, I'm actually a bit higher on the Dragons. I'd give them a B+, maybe an A-.
True.
Well, think about their like preseason predictions was they were going to be a bottom team.
Yeah.
And to be in the 8 most of the season, I feel like that's worthy of a really high grade. Like, sure, the back end of the season sucked, but with 2 rounds left to go, like there was still a chance to make it. A realistic chance? No. But there was still a chance to make it. But yeah, so I'm higher on the Dragons. So I gave them An A minus. An A minus because I'll be honest.
Nice. There you go, Dragons fans.
I just didn't really think they were going to do shit.
Not bad. Not bad. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is your season review. This is the first iteration of the season review brought to you by Uber. Make sure to catch your Uber, not hit your Uber, ladies and gentlemen. Heading over now to big plays and paydays brought to you by 99 Dreams, inspiring others to chase their dreams. And if you want to cop one of these hats, head over to 99dreams.co.nz. For all your 99 Dreams apparel. Also, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, and hit the bell notification so that you will be updated anytime we release any videos, podcasts, or anything along those lines. Now, let's head over to big plays and paydays. I'll start us off, sports fans. Look, I've just got a multi on here. I've got Kiwis just outright winner because, I mean, it's a waste of time putting the money on Aussie. I think it's only $1.28. So we're doing this for money, not for, I mean, if Kiwis win, GG's in the chat, but hey, who cares? First try scorer, the hammer. And can you get to score any 2 or more tries? Can that still be the hammer? That could be the hammer, right? As well as first?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Those are my 3 tips. $10 gets you $1,768.50. Sports fans.
Fuck, they get you more than my one.
With only 3. 3.
What did you say, sorry?
I said New Zealand winning, hammer first try, and hammer with a hat trick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I should have figured out. I was like, how the hell is it paying that much? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, man.
For what, 1,000?
Yeah, man. Yeah, okay, 1,000. You get $1,000 off $10.
I lied. I could go next. As I mentioned earlier, I do predict it to be quite high scoring in favour of the Aussies. So I've got Aussie to win 13+. This is just one big multi. Hammer to score try. Turbo, Coates, Lomax and Burden all to score tries. I've got Aussie as a first half handicap. I've taken a line on that one, so -5.5 points. And then I've got total first half points to be under 23.5. And I've got Zach Lomax to score 14+ points. Put $10 on that final, and then you could potentially win $3,061.
Jesus.
Nice.
Well, yeah, mine doesn't pay out that much. I've taken the under on the total points, which is under 47.5. I think Aussie will do a lot of the scoring, and New Zealand might chip in. Keyword might. So I've taken under 47.5. Australia to win by 8 or more. So I've taken Australia -7.5. And then I've gone Hembeso, first, second, or third try scorer, and Lomax to grab a double. Chuck $10 on that. That'll
double.
Yeah. I just figured they're going to be kicking to Osaka's wing. So yeah. Chuck $10 on that. That pays out $775.90. You know, not quite you guys, but I like it. I might chuck a bit of money on it.
Hey, easy as. And look, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's episode. Thank you all so much for listening. If you made it this far, no matter where you are in the world, you can always guarantee the practice run will bring you the hottest takes in the NRL and rugby league today and tomorrow. And who knows where the game will take us in the future. Hopefully to a grand final where we can just sit, chill, and drink beers and commentate on the game. Anyway, thank you all so much. We apologize again that we weren't there for your Tuesday session. Just look, life happens. We're all tired, fatigued, all sick from the weekend. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back. It's a long weekend, so we've got a whole day. We've got a whole day to review this game. So yes, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, aunties, uncles, mamas, teachers, teacher aides. Take it to your doctor. Show your doctor, your dentist, your veterinarian, your mechanic, your physio, your osteo, your personal trainer. Send it to everyone. We need all the support we can get. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, download the episodes. I am Rawiri. I'm signing out for today. Thank you all so much. I'm going to hand it over to Sam and Two for the final word.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah, I haven't really got it too much for us. Shout out to 99 Dreams for making this all possible and all happen. Outside of that, cheers for listening, team. Over to you two.
Yes, as always, we want to give a shout out to all of our friends and family, both near and far. We really do appreciate the support here at the Practice Run. Yeah, for those who want to join our community, because that's what we are here, feel free to hit us up. We'd love to have guests on the show. Add your 2 cents into the sports that we are currently covering, which is league. Man, we might just leave it there. We'll see you on Tuesday. Hopefully, the boys get up. I just want to see a good game. Hopefully, the girls get up. It's a great weekend. Sports is all coming back. But as always, Fano, see you on Tuesday. Until then, be safe. Cheers to the cheer. Mā te wā.